Hello, 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 hello? Hello. Okay, guys, I am back with yet another live stream. Here I am. So today we are going to be talking about more of the weather, as I have been the past few live streams, pretty much every day at this point. We do have a tornado risk in Oklahoma and Kansas, and today, I mean, looks pretty interesting. It's not anything crazy, but, like, definitely more of a risk than it was yesterday, where we even did have some tornadoes yesterday. So, definitely something to note. We definitely have more of a risk today than yesterday. However, we're unsure how storms are going to develop and all that. We do have one tornado warning in Texas currently, so we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, this is just to showcase my forecast on this trajectory that we're heading in with the weather and showcase what I think about what the weather is going on right now and just telling you how to be safe. So that's generally what this live stream is going to be about. I mean, I don't have much else to say besides let's get into it. So we do have this. Let me just size this up a little bit. Yeah, that works. 3 tornado warnings are definitely not active. It's just how many? We have one tornado warning active. So let me do that. So we have one tornado warning active. And this is the general picture that we're seeing where that tornado warning is. Let me choose a different color, actually. So, currently, we do have that one tornado warning currently positioned near Wheeler, Texas. You can see it right here. It is moving to the southeast, pretty much. I mean, let me just see what the general trajectory is. Yeah, pretty much to the southeast. It's kind of weird because you would expect the rotation to be here, because that's where the reflectivity is kind of showing a hook, where that would normally typically resemble what the tornado would come from. However, you can see the main rotation that was originally warned is actually over here. At least I think so. Yeah, the original rotation was over here, northeast of Wheeler, but this one is right over Wheeler. So there might be a meso handoff going on, where a meso handoff is just the tornadic part of the storm is transitioning to a new part of the storm that is more volatile for activity at that point. We do also have storms, plural, in Kansas that are developing right now. One of them is near Sublette, and that is moving towards the south, or maybe more the east. It's kind of hard to tell with this. I think it's moving more towards the east. You can see it here. Yeah, it's moving more towards the east. This isn't the tornado watch that was issued a few hours ago, so this definitely might cause some problems as it heads towards just south of Dodge City and Mineola. So this definitely could cause some problems. We're also watching for more storms to develop here in northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas. If they get their act together, we definitely could see some problems, but the time is running out for them. But these storms over here definitely do have a chance with them. So we'll see what happens with the tornado threat over here. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in pretty much the same place we were talking about yesterday when we ended the stream, near Grover, Colorado, and just south of Cheyenne, Wyoming. There is a bit of a wind threat with this, but not as much of a hail threat. There is a tornado possible with this. However, it's not a big tornado threat. There isn't even a 2% up here, so I want to put much on it. We also do have a small tornado threat over in this area. I've seen tornado warnings been issued in the past, especially for the Ohio region. They're no longer active, and there is only a severe thunderstorm watch with no severe thunderstorm warnings in it in Pennsylvania. But also, more recently, we have had some tornado warnings over here in Canada and southeastern Ontario. We would have covered those, but we weren't on stream. We usually do cover Canada a little bit, even if not to the same extent as we do for the U.S., but this storm right here that's still in the Lake Erie does have some rotation on it. You can see it's forming a little bit of a hook. This is where the rotation would be, but it's right over the lake at the moment, so I'm unsure if it's going to last all the way until it reaches Erie. I'm unsure if that's actually going to happen, but we're still watching it just to make sure that nothing happens with it. We do still have our only tornado warning active, though, which is near Wheeler. It expires in 8 minutes. But yeah. We have our tornado watch, and we're just waiting for storms to fire. I know I was a little late to the party. I know there was more stuff going on earlier, but I wasn't available earlier. I had something from 6 to 6:45, so I decided I'm not going to just take a break in the middle. I'm not going to start a live stream, then take a big break in the middle, and then start it again. I feel like that's a little bit too much, so I just decided to come on later. And nothing much happened. We did have a few tornadoes near Beaver, Oklahoma, over here, but that's about it. We didn't see much more besides that. We did just get a special weather statement here in Pennsylvania. I think this was issued actually a while ago, but you can see there is a special weather statement for a bit of a line developing. You can also see there is some storms that might be deserving of severe thunderstorm warnings or special weather statements. There's one specifically near Beccaria, Pennsylvania, that might actually produce some hail. You can see a little bit on reflectivity. There's also a tiny bit of rotation over here, but I don't think it's real rotation because it would most likely be over here, because that's where the hook kind of feature is and where the inflow would be able to come in. And you can see there's also one near Tiffin, a special weather statement, but that's not really doing much. So we're just waiting to see if more storms develop in northern Oklahoma. I still wouldn't put it at 0% yet, but the chance is definitely lowering. But there still is a strong tornado threat with these storms, even though, looking at them now, kind of weakening. Notice that? Is today gonna bust? I shouldn't be saying that, of course. I mean, of course, you can't really say if today busts or booms or, like, it's hard to tell sometimes, but I feel like as a meteorologist, well, not like a degree meteorologist, as you see in the description, but, like, as some sort of weather guy, I shouldn't be saying, like, it's gonna bust immediately when nothing happens, even though it's been a while since we've been expecting storms, so I don't really know. I don't really know what we're going to see with this. Of course, it wasn't a bust over here for Beaver. There was some tornadoes there, but it definitely wasn't as strong as we were expecting some of us. So, something to note. We do also have some severe thunderstorm warnings here in southwestern Texas. These don't really have much of a risk with them, except for the ones in the severe thunderstorm warning for tornadoes. I mean, actually, to be honest, even in the severe thunderstorm watch, they don't have much of a risk for tornadoes, but they do have a risk for some hail, so just watch the storms. Make sure to get indoors if you live in those storm areas. This tornado warning expires in 5 minutes. And we're not really seeing much with it, so I imagine they will expire it. Looking back at these storms near Sublette. Oh, I think this is the same scan, actually. Yeah, you can see they're kind of shriveling up a little bit. It's definitely weird how they're shriveling up a little bit. This one isn't. The one west of Ulysses is kind of developing. But I don't know if we're going to have this pattern where there's just going to be training thunderstorms and they just, like, weaken the minute they get to Sublette. I don't know. And I don't know if that storm is actually weakening, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, we're still waiting for these potential storms that could develop near Enid. We could let's look at the environment around these storms, just to make sure that we're not seeing any mesoscale accidents. So let's look on the home page here. I don't know what I'm looking at. Okay, that's a little better. That's the newest section. Alright, so let's look down here. Okay. Wind shear. It's really low here, but that's just because that's where the storms were. You can see there's good shear in northeastern Oklahoma, so if any storms develop near, like, the Bartlesville area, that would be concerning. We also do have good shear around those Kansas storms, too, so I'm not saying that those have nothing. These Kansas storms are getting into a really good environment for SRH, though, so we'll see what happens with that. That's the thing, though. Most of this area is capped, so that's probably why we're not seeing any storms, because most of this area is capped. Not too much in Kansas and some portions of Oklahoma, but over here near Bartlesville, where the best conditions are, it actually is capped. So this might be the contributing factor. If today is a bust, or I don't want to use that word, if today underperforms, then that's the factor that will cause it to underperform. Mid-level lapse rates are really good, though. And CIN change. There is more of a cap building in place, it seems like. What else do we have? Bulk shear change. We do have some lessening of the shear, but not in the main area. Supercell composite, very high in that region. And significant tornado parameter, also very high in Oklahoma. This area isn't as capped, but it's still a little capped, so. And there's one portion of southern Kansas and central northern Oklahoma, probably near the Enid area, that isn't fully capped. So we'll see if any storms try to develop there, but it doesn't look like it so far. Yeah, the storm's shriveling up a little bit. Shriveling up a little bit. So, I don't know about it. This storm isn't really, but it's kind of spreading out, kind of doing a similar thing that this storm did, so. I don't know, these are right on the edge of the tornado watch, so we'll see what happens with them. There are a bunch of storms just north of the tornado watch. This probably is why the area isn't very conducive for tornadic activity, because there's a bunch of overconvection going on. But definitely still a threat, I think, up there, but like not a big threat or anything.
Hello.
Somebody was just saying how to make my bad. Just looking at these storms to see if they can do anything. Not really much to say, because these don't have much rotation. Let me get some of the cameras. I mean, I don't know if we're going to use them, but we'll see. Kansas. Okay. That's good. Okay. And I guess we have Texas too. We are now down to 0 tornado warnings. You can see here, we're now down to 0 tornado warnings as the tornado warning in Texas was deactivated. So, not really much to say right now. There is a storm trying to rotate near Wheeler. This is behind that line that has developed with mainly strong winds. But I don't know how good of an environment that actually is in. I would say if we don't get a storm to develop in the next, like, 15 to 20 minutes, that risk is done. But we could still see something from these Kansas storms, I bet, but this storm right here isn't necessarily weakening. It's kind of shriveling up a little bit, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not trusting this. These storms could try to do something, but we're just watching right now, honestly. We did just get a special marine warning for water spouts off the coast of Erie, Pennsylvania. And you can see it's for the storm that did have some rotation earlier, coming from Canada. It's starting to move southeast, and it's trying to produce some water spouts, but not anything too crazy yet. But you have to wait for it in Erie, but maybe you'll get a tornado out of it. So just be careful if you live out there. Don't maybe set sail or something. What else was I going to look at? I was going to look at something else, but I forgot. I think I have everything I need. Whatever. Oh, yeah, right. I was just going to change this. Okay. How many severe thunderstorm warnings do we have active? 13. It's actually not as much as I expected, but... definitely not as much as I expected. I'm going to change my title. Sorry about that. Just a bunch of 70-mile-per-hour winds currently in Oklahoma. That's mainly what we're looking at right now. So, we'll continue to watch these. Okay, well, this storm near Sublette is absolutely shriveling out, but I'm still a little unsure about that storm. It's still trying to strengthen a little bit near Ulysses. This storm near Ulysses is still trying to strengthen a little bit. It's on the very edge of the tornado watch. What area is this? Wait, what county? What county even is this? Wait, let me just look this up. What county? Okay, well, that makes sense. Johnson County. Oh, wait, what? Oh, it's not Kansas. It's Stanton County. So this storm is in Stanton County right now. It's about to go into... I gotta look it up again. Okay, so this is straddling the border between Stanton and Grant counties. This eventually will make it into Grant County, heading towards Ulysses, and this will pose a hail threat. Maybe a tornado threat as if it moves further east, but... starting to lower confidence on that. We're still waiting for storms in this region. We did get a mesoscale discussion, I think. Oh, I forgot to turn that back on here. Wait, let me do that. There it is. It exists for Dodge City and those regions. So, and what else do I have? Oh, there's a tornado risk. Oh, they just went with a new SBC outlook, and they think it's a bust. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them. I'm not gonna lie. They kind of just gave up on this. Which makes sense. I'm gonna say that right now. It makes kind of sense. So, let me go to the SBC outlook. You might not have seen it yet, but they basically took away the Sig 1 for tornadoes, so I'm not going to keep strong tornado threat on my thing anymore. It's still an enhanced risk for wind, and to an extent, hail. No, not hail. It's just wind. Just the Sig 1 wind there. But you can see tornado risk here. There's a small one with this line that's trying to develop. It's going to head towards Enid eventually. I'm surprised why these have no tornado risk, but I kind of get it, because these are very weak right now. I'm unsure. If they're going to do anything. There is also a small tornado threat over here. This is the Kansas storm that we were looking at earlier. There is a small tornado threat there. There's a 2% there, so... wouldn't be surprised if that does anything. The one thing I am surprised about, maybe they should have kept a 2% here, because there still is that storm heading towards Erie, but I don't know if it's going to persist. But that's our SBC outlook. I'm going to change my title now. We'll stay on a little bit longer. I know it's a little less necessary, but I feel like we still need to stay live, just in case if those Kansas storms do anything. Because if this is a 22-minute live stream, I mean, I feel like that's nothing, so... But yeah, the new SBC outlook does look like they're having less of a chance of storms to develop in this Enid area, which I agree with. We could still see these storms here, and there is still a tornado watch in effect, so we'll see how that develops, but not too much confidence on it. I would be surprised if this continues. Let me see what the probabilities on this tornado watch were. 30% chance for strong tornadoes, 50% chance for 2+ tornadoes. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think maybe a 20%. No, probably 10% chance for strong tornadoes, honestly. But I don't think they issue 10% on those probabilities. I think it's only 20% and then 5%. So. Yeah, the storm's trying to develop a bit of hail core as it approaches Ulysses. So I would be interested in that storm. I would want to see what's going on with it. It's not producing a hook or anything like that, but definitely interesting. I would continue watching it. This storm near Sublet, though, completely died out. So we're still watching these storms. We're still seeing if they can get their act together. There still is a tornado risk, but not a very high one anymore since the new SBC outlook came out. Probably went live at the wrong time, but it's fine. I mean, we can continue watching these. Doesn't hurt. We can also check tomorrow. I mean, I feel like it's kind of weird that we're now checking tomorrow instead of today, but I mean, here is tomorrow. It's a slight risk, mainly for tornadoes. So, yes, it's Illinois and Indiana again. I'm not expecting anything that bad to occur. There's no Sig 1 this time, but you never know with that area. There's always something going on there, so we're going to continue watching. This is barely in Illinois. It's mostly in Indiana and Kentucky. Well, maybe mostly in Illinois, but like far southern Illinois, but that's what we're generally looking at over there. That's for tomorrow. And then the next day, Saturday, we do maybe have a wind risk. This looks like a wind risk to me over here. There might be a tornado threat, but it looks like mainly a wind risk with that setup over there. And then there's probably mainly a wind risk in Virginia and North Carolina. Yeah, that's what we're looking at the days ahead. Let me see this storm now. Probably weakened the minute on the next scan. Or is this the same scan? I think this is the same scan. Never mind. I thought it weakened, but I think it's the same scan. There is also a tiny storm developing over here near Garden City too, so I would watch that. It does look like a few storms are developing in this area. They might just pose a threat for hail, but maybe they'll do something weird. I don't know. I'm not really getting my guard on. Just because I don't know if these are going to do anything. This is the newest scan on this Ulysses storm. Yeah, I think it's weakened. Well. Now there's another storm trying over here near Garden City, it seems like. There must be an outflow boundary here or something. That's what these storms are firing off of. So, that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, not much to say right now. I don't know if these storms are just going to keep appearing and then weakening again. Still is a 5% tornado risk over here. But we don't have any tornado warnings active, so. It's now only 11 severe thunderstorm warnings active, so. I won't change the colors or anything, because it's basically the same thing. And there is considerables active, but I'm not going to count those. I'm only going to count, like, PDS or something. There's a little storm developing out in front of this rotating storm. It does have a tiny bit of rotation, but I think it's sane. So. I think it's mainly this storm we have to worry about down the line. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning further north in Ontario. Not really any rotation on it. It's kind of broad. So. Still do have this tornado watch active, though, so we're continuing to watch it. We're not done yet. I mean, I don't know what the SVC thinks, but I mean that they don't think we're done, but not like there yet. Or I don't know. We're just waiting for the next scan in western Kansas. I mean, that's all we really got to say. Next scan in western Kansas. We do have this severe thunderstorm warning in northeastern. It has some pretty big hail in northeastern New Mexico. This isn't very populated of an area. There's a few roads here, but basically nothing. It is approaching near Kenton, Texas. So if you live just west of Kenton, Texas in New Mexico, I would get ready for some big hail. I mean, I guess it's 2-inch in diameter. It's just way too far away from the radar. It might be exacerbated by how far away the radar is. So... okay, so these are just weakening now. Okay. Well, that's good news. I'm just not sure what that means for this live stream. I mean, I don't know. I'm starting to doubt this threat. But we'll see. Still have a, like, 5% chance, maybe. Stuff happening. Storms are weakening, though. A little. It's not like they're weakening that much. I mean, it's possible they start to develop again, but they did weaken a little bit on the latest scan, and this storm is almost completely, like, submerged. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. Submerged? I don't know. We do have a special weather statement for Crawford and those regions. Now only 9 severe thunderstorm warnings active. Let me change this. No rotation on these yet. I say that with a question mark because I don't even know. Do have this little hook south of Grover. This does have some tornado risk, but it's kind of weird. It's not even in a 2%. I'm unsure. It did have a tornado warning over by Cheyenne, but we'll see what happens with it. I feel like we have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings we're just not catching because there's 10 active. Where are all these coming from? Oh, so we do have all of them. It just doesn't look like 10. I don't know why. Well, this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we do have 10 active. I don't know. I just don't look like it. Still waiting for the next scan here. See if they weakened even more. Okay. I think this is the end of the stream, folks. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, this doesn't seem stream worthy anymore. I'll admit that. It doesn't seem stream worthy anymore. But, you know. Lose some, you lose some. Well, we've been live for half an hour, so. I want to wait one more scan, I guess, just to make sure that these storms are dying out. I mean, there are a few storms firing over here near Hugoton, but I don't know. I'm not very confident. I think if we had storms firing over here, then there would be something. But we're just waiting for the final scan, and then we'll leave. Because it doesn't seem like much is going to happen tonight, thankfully. Do have this special weather statement now in Montana near Jordan. It does have a bit of hail in it, but that's about it. And of course, we do have our severe thunderstorm warnings in Alberta, Canada, where severe thunderstorm watch is active, but not too much with them. No rotation or anything like that. Still watching, folks. Still just waiting for the next scan. Okay, I think we're done here, folks. Okay. Well, even though nothing really happened, you know, was forecasting a little something to happen, but, you know, that's just the art of weather. It's just sometimes appears, sometimes doesn't appear, you just gotta wait. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please just subscribe, turn on notifications. If you don't know what the notification bell is, it's the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. Also, make sure to like this video. I don't care if dislike. If you really don't like this video, fine, dislike. But anyways, guys, you always want to see where you are in the world, and where you are on the Moyes Data on the Road freeway. Goodbye, guys.